Awakening cannot happen only by your intellect, simply because the intellect and the conscious mind is only 5% of your personality, of who you actually are. 95% of you is subconscious. And that programming that created that personality was created from the second trimester until you were 7 years old. In the first 3 years of your life, from the second trimester until you're 3 years old, that is where the foundation of your nervous system is created. That is basically dictating if you're reacting with fight, flight, freeze, or please. And from 3 years old until 7 years old, that is where the social part of your personality is created. And 95% of who you are is not available to your conscious mind. It's only 5% that is conscious. So let's just pause at that for a moment. You might think of yourself as being a generous person, a kind person, a hardworking person, a good parent, a good friend. You might strive every single day to be better today than you were yesterday, right? But that is decided with a conscious mind. All changes you make in your life is decided with the conscious mind. And the conscious mind is very creative. It's very expansive, and it's very, whatever you want to do, your conscious mind can conjure it up, like you just did with the memory from your past, right? Your mind just conjured all of it up while you were sitting and driving in the car. You suddenly you could smell the leaves and you could smell the soil. You remembered your friends and all of it. That's a conscious mind that is doing that, and that is only 5% of you. So you can decide that I'm going to go on a diet, I want to lose weight, I want to be healthy. You know how that is going to go, right? You can decide I want to advance at my work, I want to get a good pay raise, I want to, reassure myself via my work. That is just a conscious decision. And it only has 5% of the power to actually succeed, to actually become something, because 95% of it is underlying motivations in your subconscious that was created pre-verbally. And when I say that it's subconscious, because when I say this, people always say, but if I do a lot, if I work with myself, then it's going to be different, isn't it? And it's just like, no, it can't, because you don't know what it is you're addressing. Whatever you think you are going to address is going to be addressed with a conscious mind, to a decision the conscious mind has made. This is my issue. This is what I'm going to address. For example, when I say that the feeling of not being good enough, of being inadequate, that feeling that you have in the body, that is part of the subconscious. But when we put a label on it and say that the feeling of inadequacy is how I feel, we're making something out of nothing. Seven feather, we're making something out of nothing. Because the feeling that you have in your body is not inadequacy. It might be tension in the chest. It might be contraction in your stomach. It might be tension in your jaw and your shoulders. And that we put a label on and saying this is inadequacy. But when we do that, like we have talked about a million times, whatever thought you have is creating a post-it. And now the post-it says inadequacy. You will now, with books and courses and exercises and talk therapy and all of that, address the inadequacy. You are now addressing the post-it. You are still not addressing the underlying feeling in your body. And it's why we're emphasizing this so much.